fox stood by a river, wondering how to gain the other side, whereupon a scorpion crept up to him and asked, "What are you pondering, O brother?" The fox stared down at the creature and replied, "I must find my way across this stream, but its eddies are deep and cold, and I fear that I may drown, having no way to guide my course." The scorpion thought for a moment, then said he, "If you would allow, I can sit on your shoulder and safely direct your path. Then both of us can cross together." But the fox had misgivings and rejoined, "I would have it, but for the dread I hold for your sting." The scorpion answered him thus, "What good would that do? For death would find me as well." The fox contemplated this, at which point he agreed. When they neared the river's midpoint, where the water was deepest, the scorpion stung the fox. As he felt his limbs go numb with death, the forlorn fox turned his head and asked the scorpion, "Why have you done this foolish thing? Both of us will now surely die." The scorpion merely answered, "I could not help myself, for it is in my nature to sting." Cultures and the civilizations these give rise to are the psychic manifestation of DNA. With regard to our own Western civilization, its creation and development were part of a greater genetic coding, as it was passed down through generations and time. The spatial interactions with other foreign cultures and peoples had historical influence to be sure, but the organic European-directed civilization that was built around these exchanges had little alteration to its primary coding. Only when such interactions were purely based on conquest, where European peoples were overrun and forced to mingle with ruling foreign cultures, was this genetic material sometimes modified. But the core native stock of Europe, the Germanic northern peoples, and various lines and subclades which came before and after, namely the Celts and Slavs, have had a steady, mostly clear genetic chain for millennia, something that postmodern, politicized science attempts to obscure. The old Russian proverb of the fox and the scorpion, then, has an alarming contemporary significance. As the hostile liberal elite continues to push for open borders, while tens of millions of non-Europeans enter our ancient homelands each year, we watch in horror at this vast, unending importation of foreign DNA into our cultural midst. The incompatible coding these alien reservoirs hold will have dire consequences not only for long-term European survival as a distinct group, but for the cultural inheritance of Western civilization itself. This trend can have but one outcome, that the fragile genetic ecosystems of we Europeans will likely experience a cascade of catastrophic extinction events by the end of this century. Thus, those of us in the West are like the tragic figure of the fox, too clever for our own good. While trusting in our logic, we've failed to follow healthy intuition. So preoccupied with our own pathological altruism, we failed to observe the trap laid out for us. And, as in the fox's demise, we too will sink beneath the cold waves of history, without a fight or even a whimper.